The fascinating world of Lucha Libre has intrigued American audiences for decades. It all really started to become a big deal for the American audience in the 90s when WCW had the cruiserweights in the company, and a lot of the stars they'd bring in for that cruiserweight division would be Mexican luchadors. This would include the likes of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. This has grown and grown and grown, and there's no company that shows that more than AEW. The company has a massive Lucha Libre influence, and I've noticed it's only growing. I mean, just look at some of the talents currently thriving in AEW. You have the Lucha Brothers, who are day ones in this company. They are very successful when it comes to title lineage, and they are constant regulars on AEW TV. You have Andrade, who is one of the best in-ring workers in the company. You have Rush, who is really rising up the card and seems like a future world champion. And speaking of future world champions, you have Bandido, who while injured has all the potential in the world to be a top star when he comes back. You also have El Hijo Del Vikingo, who while not necessarily signed, does have regular appearances, and it only seems like a matter of time before he is signed to the company, and he's someone who could really be their Rey Mysterio. And you have star after star following in the Lucha Libre route, doing that style the best they can, and it has been absolutely fantastic to watch. The company's Lucha Libre influence also continues to grow as their relationship with CMLL grows. The first stage of this relationship was a match between Mystico and Rocky Romero on AEW Rampage. The match was absolutely fantastic and got rave reviews, and it really seems like this is the beginning of a beautiful partnership that will lead to some mouth-watering dream matches. This is something that AEW should use to their advantage. What AEW has here is an opportunity. They have some of the best talent to come out of Mexico currently on their roster. People like Pentagon Jr. and Andrade. You have a partnership with the top promotion in Mexico, CMLL. They still are on friendly terms with AAA for the most part, although admittedly that partnership seems to be crumbling, especially with the CMLL partnership kind of replacing that. And overall, AEW has this opportunity to grow in Mexico exponentially. You start to push your Mexican talent. You start to maybe tour Mexico, maybe have a few dynamites at Mexico, maybe have a pay-per-view in Mexico, maybe have a stadium show in Mexico. I genuinely believe that if AEW promote a show at, let's say, Azteca Stadium with the talent they have, that they could very well sell it out. Not only do you have the worldwide known WWE names and even some fairly worldwide known AEW homegrown, but you have some of the best and top talent in all of Mexico. And if they do that, then they could sell out their second ever stadium show. Overall, Lucha Libre's growing influence on AEW can only be seen as a positive. Not only is it positive in a business sense, as it does mean that AEW has more opportunity to grow in Mexico and other Spanish-speaking countries who perhaps relate to the culture, but you also have a great opportunity to make your product more enjoyable. The more you have El Hijo Del Vikingo doing crazy spots, the more you have Pentagon and Phoenix, the more you have Andrade pulling out great matches, you can have a great product centered around Lucha Libre. It's something unique, something you don't really see that much on this prominent of a scale in the WWE, and I feel like it makes the product so much more enjoyable. It's a wrestling-centered product, and if you have some of the best wrestlers in the world wrestling on your show, then yes, it's going to be fantastic. I am a fan of pretty much every name I've mentioned here, some of which are my favorite wrestlers in the business currently, and I would love to see AEW put more focus on them. this is a great opportunity for AEW, and this is a great opportunity for the audience to learn about the style that maybe you don't know too much about if you only watch it WWE.